It was a calm morning in the forest. The sun peeked through tall pines, birds chirped, and the ranger's cabin stood quietly, except for one thing. Grizzy's snoring echoed so loudly it scared the butterflies away. Inside he was sprawled on the couch, honey jars everywhere. Everything was peaceful. Until the radio clicked on by itself. A blast of pop music filled the cabin. Fast beats, electronic drums, and a catchy voice singing in Korean. Grizzy jumped so high that his honey jar hit the ceiling. He grumbled, turned off the radio, and lay down again. But then he heard tiny footsteps and laughter. From under the furniture, dozens of lemmings appeared, holding a shiny, blinking DJ drone they had found near the ranger's garage. The drone played music and projected colorful lights. The lemmings pressed buttons randomly, and the beat became wilder, faster, louder. They started dancing perfectly in sync, tiny feet tapping the floor in rhythm. It looked like a full-on K-pop performance. Grizzy stared in disbelief. The cabin shook with the bass. He tried to cover his ears with pillows, but the music vibrated through the walls. Furious, he unplugged the power cord, only for the lemmings to reconnect it through the drone's battery. Within seconds, the lights came back, brighter than before. Then the lemmings did something unexpected. They turned Grizzy's angry roar into a beat sample. The drone recorded him shouting, "RRAHHH," and looped it into a track. "Bear in the house, yeah. Bear in the house." The lemmings laughed and danced around him, using honey jars as drums. Grizzy couldn't believe his growl was now a hit chorus. He tried to throw the drone out of the window, but it hovered right back in, spinning like a disco ball. The lemmings climbed on top of each other to reach the ceiling fan and hung colorful ribbons from it. They turned the ranger's cabin into a neon concert stage. Glowing floor tiles, tiny disco lights, even smoke made from the microwave steaming honey. Soon, the forest animals gathered outside, attracted by the lights and sound. Rabbits, foxes, deer. Everyone stared at the flashing cabin in awe. Grizzy stormed out to chase them away, but the DJ drone shined a spotlight on him. The animals started cheering, thinking he was the star of the show. Confused and embarrassed, Grizzy froze. The lemmings shouted, "Encore!" and handed him a mic. He tried to explain he wasn't part of this madness, but his deep voice echoed through the speakers and auto-tuned itself into a perfect drop. The crowd went wild. Grizzy's accidental performance became the highlight of the night. From that day, the lemmings called themselves Lem 7, their brand new K-pop band. They made matching outfits from socks and shiny foil. The DJ drone became their music producer. Every night they performed songs like Honey Love Beat and Bear Beware. But Grizzy was not happy. He couldn't sleep, couldn't eat in peace, and every time he closed his eyes, the lemmings' dance moves flashed in his mind. One evening he decided to end it. He waited until the lemmings were rehearsing, sneaked behind the soundboard, and switched the power cables. The cabin went silent. The lemmings gasped. Grizzy smirked proudly, until the drone rebooted itself using solar power from its wings. The lights flared up again, even louder this time. Grizzy roared and grabbed a broom to chase them, but he tripped on a wire and crashed right onto the stage. The music accidentally started recording again, mixing his roars and stomps into the beat. Grizzy began to enjoy it a little. He picked up a honey jar, used it as a drum, and started tapping. The lemmings joined in with their instruments. The sound was powerful, energetic, and surprisingly harmonious. For one magical moment, they were a perfect band, Grizzy and Lem 7. But success brought rivalry. Soon, Grizzy wanted to be the lead performer, not just backup growls. He declared he was forming his own band, Bear Beats. The lemmings refused to follow him. They split apart dramatically, vowing to prove who the real star was. News spread fast across the forest. A battle of the bands. Posters appeared on trees, lights hung between branches, and everyone prepared for the biggest concert the forest had ever seen. The night arrived. The moon shone bright over the stage. The lemmings performed first, Synchronized dancing, fireworks, confetti. Their song Tiny But Mighty made everyone jump and clap. Then Grizzy entered, wearing sunglasses and holding a glowing mic. He played drums made of honey jars and roared along to heavy beats from an old speaker system. The crowd loved both. The competition was intense. Lights flashing, drones spinning, honey splashing everywhere. Finally, during the grand finale, both songs started overlapping. Beats collided. The speakers exploded in a burst of glitter and honey. Smoke filled the air. When it cleared, the stage was a mess, but everyone was laughing. Grizzy and the lemmings looked at each other. Sticky, exhausted, but smiling. The DJ drone blinked weakly, then projected a slow tune. Honey Pop Forever. Together they sang one last song. No competition, no chaos, just music and friendship. The animals waved their paws and danced under the stars. As dawn broke, the forest fell silent again. The cabin was covered in glitter and honey stains. Grizzy sat on the porch, sipping his honey jar, finally at peace. The lemmings slept in a speaker box nearby. Tiny snores in rhythm. The radio softly played their hit song, now #1 on the forest charts. Grizzy smiled, muttered, "At least it's a good beat," and drifted off to sleep. The DJ drone blinked once more, recording his snore, turning it into the start of the next hit single.